Tra la 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 la. One banana, two bananas. Sorry, I'm on a runner's high. I just completed the Great North Run. Whew. Well, it was the juniors' Great North Run, and I had to run it with the band. But you know, still on a high. Once I hit that wall 30 seconds in. But then once you push through that, this little champion just completed the Great North Run, and he had a chest infection the other week, so I didn't think he'd be able to run it. But he ran, and he didn't stop once. He sprinted around the whole thing. I had to sprint to keep up with him. So if you'd like to buy him some Haribo, they'll buy me a coffee, links in the description on the video. Buy me some Haribo. So well done, Lucas. Junior Great North Run, you know, but the proper Great North Run's not that much further than that. No way, man. Anyway, so I'm struggling for ideas today. It's late Saturday afternoon, and I was like, oh, what will I put out for a video? So I haven't given it much thought. I've just been cruising around. In this beast, not thinking. After I welded and she held it, and then it hit us. Literally, spring fell off the shelf and hit us. So this is a Vauxhall Nova spring, which we're going to fit today to the beautiful 1975 Vauxhall Viva HC. I already fitted one on the near side, as you can see, a while ago, because that one had collapsed. But today I'm going to change the offside. Irano Uvavo. I'm also going to take off this splash guard and see if it's hiding any critters like the other side. I hope there's no corrosion behind it, but let's get this splash guard off as well and check it out behind there. Let's see what's going on. Hope there's no holes. Also, I'm going to talk about my carb setup on the Viva, because a few people have asked us about me Weber setup on the Viva, with me being an engineer and master. So let's go and remove some 50-year-old bolts. Sure, they'll come out just fine. By the way, look at this. The organisation continues. Look at this. Look at that. I've even got stuff written on there. What's in there? Well, I used to watch these videos until he started with that clickbait shit. Suck my cup of tea. Let's get cracking. Right, let's get the wheel off. That's what you want to do. You want to take real care of your hubcaps. Let's check this baby up. Couldn't find me kneeling cushions, so I'm kneeling on this Yoda cushion that one of the kids had chucked out for recycling. Look at Yodas they are. I've got a better idea. Let's undo the top of the shock first. Do you need to undo the shock on these before doing it? I did last time, I think. Is it necessary? Get out and walk. I used a 15mm on there because it's a deeper socket, and I haven't got many deep imperial sockets. I need to invest in some of them to get over the top of the shock bolt. I mean deep imperial sockets. I've got hordes of imperial sockets, but I need some deeper ones. I need some you know, whatever the other ones are, Whitworth and Brit-Tool. I've got some Whitworths and I've got some Brit-Tools, or whatever were differences, you know, when back then when spanner sizes were 4 gold coins and 2 hairs of a goat and stuff like that. And we're gonna see what size socket. Hang on a minute. There's a bolt through this. Did I do that? Answers on a postcard. Normally these are just like welded, like encapsulated, like welded on one side, aren't they? And with this appears to be a newer bolt through it. Did I do this, or was it done by the previous owner? I don't remember. Yeah, I just checked the other side and it's welded on top, like it's like encapsulated or whatever the hell you call it. It's a welded in like one-sided bolt thing with a nut underneath, so it doesn't turn or anything like that. But it appears someone's drilled that one out and bolted through it. Was it me? Was it me? Is it imperial or metric? I've got a 1/2-inch Stanley here. Norman Stanley Fletcher. Yeah, 1/2 inch. It's imperial. 1/2 inch either side. I really need to get cleaning and undersealing and stuff under here. I really do. Anyway, got a 1/2 inch spanner on the top of there and 1/2 inch socket on the bottom. Let's loosen this baby off. Let's lower the suspension down and try and get that top nut. Whatever size bolt that is in there, it does not look happy. Let's try and get it cleaned up, see what it is and get it out of there. I'll be back. I'm looking for Sarah Connor. Future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Right, I've cracked that bolt off. I'm putting some lubrication on either sides of it. I think that's encapsulated, like welded on nut at the tops here. Let that soak in for a few minutes and then we'll take that off. I'm using a 14mm to take this off. I mean, I tried a 9/16 and it was just like slipping. So this is a 14mm. Baffles me, some of the stuff on this car. Did they just use whatever I was lying about? 1975. When was the metric coming into force? So bits of this Imperial and bits of it metric. Has anyone else found that on later model Vivas? This is a 1975. Shabow. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Please don't snap. Oh yes. That's that off, and as suspected, I don't know if I said, but I started suspected anyway, this spring's been replaced before in the past. You can tell why someone's already mangled a bit, just like I did on the other side. But I was going to file this off with a carbide nice and neat, but no, someone's already been into it. Yeah, they've taken it off and they've actually quite cleverly smashed the corner of the lip over on the top of it to retain the top of it, to get it in, because it's a bit of a pain getting it in when this is all loose. I didn't know these actually came apart in the past. It was thanks to Mr. Vauxhall Turbo on Instagram, Mr. Lee Wallace, who told us you've got to like file that off to get it to release. So were these sold in the past as one complete unit, or did you have to smash? Well, apparently they had to smash that off and reuse it. Did they not sell them with this bit already encapsulated on, this bushing bit? Anyway, it's off now. Let's take this top bit off. I thought this one was going to be a bit easier with it being off before, but with that lip bent over and you're not sure, like you're trying to not take away too much of the material because you want it to sit on top a bit. But I didn't have a punch that wide, so I used a punch upside down and hammered it through to get the last bit off. There's that cup out. Woo! So on these you've got that, and the rubber sits sandwiched between them. That sits under there, and this rubber pushes through the top with the coil, with that sandwiched to the side of it, then bolts up into the car. So let's take a file to the top of this a little bit to file it down so it actually pushes through there alright, because I've just had to punch it out. Then we'll attach it to the Nova spring. All in all, edited, I think that was about 20 minutes of trying to get that top thing out of there, edited down. Nova, the car that's taken over. There's that. I still had a bit of a lip in there to push it on and for it to retain. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Found a shallower socket. Yeah, the socket doesn't like working on the Viva. It only likes working on expensive cars. That's why it's shallow. Yeah, shallower socket because that one's too deep, so you can't like push it into to get a turn on it. So let's use a shallower one. And there she is, the spring is in. I know people have been asked before in the past, but in the older videos I did all the fuel lines and all the brake lines, all the hard lines and the flexis are all brand new. You can see all that. And she's only ran on V-Power. She is a speed machine. Just popping the shock bolt back on. I'll tighten it up properly with a ratchet in a moment. Little bit of tuck in the back, same with a little bit of tuck in the front. Sits at a nice right height. I'd like it lower eventually, but Corsa B springs, or Nova springs, or Corsa A springs if you will, lower the back slightly. And on the front I think people use coilovers, but like mine's Triumph 1500 springs in the front of mine, lower mine a bit, and very similar spring, makes the handling better actually. I think you can buy, is it TJ Motorsports? A few places actually sell adjustable coilovers and the shocks on full setup for these. Out of my budget at the minute though. God, that's a good looking car. You'll be surprised actually at some of the places that do still sell some stuff for this, like suspension and that. I think there's an Australian company as well. Just start with the classic in Google, Vauxhall Viva HC suspension, and see where it takes you. And I believe, is it martinroby.com or .co.uk or something like that, so this front setup suspension was used on, was it some of the Jensens? And I know they still sell a lot of the bushings and rubbers and stuff like that for it. I think there was a company somewhere that did sell the entire polyurethane bush kit for these as well, for all the suspension parts, so look about. I mean, some stuff is like hen's teeth to try to get, and some stuff is just near impossible, and some stuff people think they're selling bars of gold or something like that. Let's get this front splash guard off, it's getting very dark. As suspected, that's had the old fiberglass in it as well, but the bottom of this is solid, and look at that bit that I actually made. Very, 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 very similar. That even overlaps. Didn't know it did there. But it looks like we caught it just in time because this needs some treatment, but it's not corroded. There's my aerial. It's off. So we'll get this treated and under sealed and get in there and treat it all. Let's treat all the underneath of this car. I'm just going to pop the mud flap back on for now at the top until I get out here tomorrow for grinder. It's too late to be using a grinder out here now. But that's a little bit. But the mud flap's still good like. Right, carburation. Carburation. My Viva is running a Weber. It's actually the next day. I've got the bonnet up because I'm about to go for a rip in this Sunday morning early. Great North runs on, so I'll have to stick to the quieter roads. But I've already loosened this off. Weber 34 ICH with an anti-run-on solenoid or anti-dieseling solenoid, which is wired in. I've wired it into the fuse box. I can't remember what it shares it with, but it shares it with someone where if it cuts out, it's not working anyway. But I know people have removed the pin out of this so they don't use it at all. But that's my Weber 34 ICH, and it's on an earlier Viva manifold that runs the downdraft carb for the earlier Viva HC carburetor, the Zenith. On the newer Vivas, it was this sort of manifold to run the side draft carb, the Stromberg. I think this was called Zenith Stromberg. I don't know if the companies joined forces or what. I don't know the deal. So the bottom line is, if you want to run your Viva, unless you've got an earlier Viva because it switched over to the Stromberg later on, it's a straight swap for the Weber from the Zenith. But if your Viva is running a Stromberg, you need to switch it over from the side draft manifold to the downdraft manifold of an earlier Viva. That and the accelerator bracket. And like I say, wire in the anti-dieseling thing, or just take the pin out. So that's that. If you want to run a far superior carb to the Stromberg and you want to put a Weber on, do that. Unless it's you've got the Zenith on, which is a better carb than that anyway, I think. Because this is the type of carb, you know, when you feel like a car's like running ropey, and this hasn't been rebuilt and its ropey is out, but this still like got you home, you know, because I was testing them all out. This is like, don't worry pal, I'll get you home. So you're over revving, you're fannying on with the choke cable. It's like, I'll get you home. Slightest thing goes wrong with this, and this is like, no pal, we're not going anywhere. So I think you can still pick these up for the Viva, the 1256, can't you? Or maybe rebuilt ones, the Zenith or the Zenith Stromberg, which is a better carb than the Stromberg, I reckon. But if you want to pay a little bit more, I think Webers are cracking carbs. There's actually other carbs that I've never used before, and they're meant to be good, that people like Nicky and stuff like that. So, but I think Weber, spot on. Anyway, that's enough of me banging on about Weber carbs. Let's tell you what to do if you have a Stromberg carb. Just kidding, I wouldn't throw it away. I'd give it to someone who wants the parts from it or who wants to use one. I don't know why. But yeah, don't be giving me that, oh, Strombergs are great carbs as long as they're tuned by a Virgin Unicorn and blessed by a priest every second Sunday. Don't forget to oil the dash pot if you're sitting in traffic for longer than 20 minutes. This isn't the exact one, actually. My Stromberg's sitting up there all rebuilt, and I rebuilt it to the tolerances. I got like a manual of everything exactly spot on to what the factory said and everything like that. And it just didn't run right. If Weber is responsive as out, and I run the Viva hard. I run the little 1256 hard. Weber, good old Italian engineering. Made in Spain. Click unsubscribe. I used to watch it when he started banging on about Strombergs. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Hit that hype button. I don't know what the hell it does, but hit it anyway. I'm going to upload this video and go out for a cruise in the Viva. Catch us in the next one. Have a great week.